Hello, photo students. So this video is about using Snapseed to create a double exposure. So before you get into Snapseed, the first thing you want to do is you want to get your photos, your photos organized in your gallery. All right. So I've done this ahead of time. And you probably already have your texture album. So here's my texture album right here. So I'm going to open up my texture album, and you can see I have a lot of different textures, texture photos. So I have ones with flowers and mushrooms, so a lot of natural items. That was kind of like the focus of my photo shoot. I also have some base photos. So the first two, like the monkey here, I think this one will be really great for adding texture because it's very simple. It's kind of like a black and white. If this is a silhouette. So if you also want to go back to the silhouette photo shoot and add one of those photos into your texture album, I think it would be really great. My daughter is always a great, fun subject matter for me, so I'll use her probably for one of my experiments as well. All right, so let's go ahead to Snapseed and get started. So you see I'm already organized with my texture folder. So clicking on Snapseed, tap anywhere to open a photo. This opens into my main gallery. You can kind of see I do have some of those photos there from my texture album, but I want to search it this way instead. So I'm going to go to my gallery, and then I can scroll down. And, you know, if you're using an iPhone, the navigation might be slightly different, and that's absolutely fine. So for this one, I'm going to start with the monkey photo. All right, and if you want to do any edits to that, you can use the edits before you start to. I'm just going to look at some different things. This one makes it very black and white. I think I'm going to go with this one because it's just a little bit brighter, a little more contrast. So I think that might work really well to add a texture to it. You want to check the check once you like your changes. And then I'm going to go back to Tools, the center, bottom, and then I'm going to pick double exposure, bottom left, all the way to the bottom, all the way to the left, double exposure. Then looking down at the bottom of your screen, you're going to see the little window, the little picture image with a plus sign. Click on that. Again, I'm going to go back to my texture gallery because I've already gotten it nice and organized. And then I'm going to pick one of the textures. So I kind of like seeing this whole album like this because I can sort of see which textures might work best with this image. So I kind of like the monkey and the trees. So I think that kind of like makes some sense. This did this to me yesterday. I don't know why I have the eternal circle there. So you know what? I'm going to go back. I'm going to pick a different one. So I'm going to go back to Tools again, double exposure. Click on that. Go back to my gallery again. I don't know why that image doesn't want to work. But anyway, it's all right. I'll pick a different one. I got lots of options. Texture. This time, let's see. I'm going to go with these kind of cool flowers. Oh my word, we're gonna do this again. I promise you this does work, guys. Heaven forbid this would work so easy. I'm just gonna try something different from yesterday, see if I can't make it work for today. Let's try this guy. All right, for whatever reason it didn't want to work with some of those photos, so I'm just gonna keep trying. You know how tech is sometimes, can be very challenging. All right, so here I have the image, and you have some different options, and they're called blending modes. So if you kind of like look at that button right next to the add the image button on the bottom right in the center, it'll give you some different ways that you could actually make the texture look. So this one focuses more on the monkey. This puts the texture on the monkey shape, so you can kind of see why it's cool to use a high contrast image like a silhouette. Could be really fun. So you can try the different ones and just see what you like. I actually really like the overlay one, but it's all up to you. So I'm gonna stick with the overlay. And then the other thing, the option that you have is to have more or less of the texture seen. So here the texture is really light, which is okay, but maybe I want to add more of the texture. So I'm taking that little raindrop button at the bottom right, and I can either swipe to the right or I could swipe to the left. I'm going to swipe to the right because I want to show you another thing that you can do with this. All right, so that's going to add more texture in. All right, so once I like the level of transparency, so that's what it's doing here. It's making it more or less transparent. Slide all the way to the left, you can't even see it. Slide all the way to the right, you can't even see the monkey. All right, so it's kind of like a layer. All right, so once I like that, I can click on the check. All right, and now here's like one of the really awesome things about Snapseed. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna click at the top of your screen. You have like the little layers, those little squares with the bent arrow on top. So I'm gonna click on that. And then I'm gonna click on View Edits, where you see the layers stacked on top of each other. All right, so here's a cool thing. I'm going to click on the double exposure. All right, and then I'm also going to select the paintbrush. All right, so right now it looks like everything's gone, but it's not. It's just kind of temporarily hidden. So I'm going to take the paintbrush and I'm just going to paint in some areas right here, just where the monkey is. All right, and then I'm going to hit the checkbox. And then you'll kind of see like, all right, I only revealed the double exposure wherever I painted it back in. So you can sort of play around with this. Not really liking that one so much, so I think I'm going to go back to that again. And I think I can actually erase that. Let's see. Oh, and you can also like lower or raise. I can have like a lot of the exposure come back using these like arrow buttons. All right, so a lot of different things that you can sort of mess around with that. And I think I want to add a little more here. I'm not sure if I can change the brush size. That would be something. I think if I swipe in, yeah, so if I swipe in, I can change, the brush size and get things a little more detailed there. And then I can move around in this box. All right, so anyway, guys, play around with this, have some fun. So you can see there, I can get it more detailed if I swipe in. So it's pretty cool. Once you like your changes, click on that check box. I'm going to swipe it back in. And then the next thing you want to do is you want to, hold on, you're going to export it and save it. And voila, there you are. All right, let me get out of this again. Uh-oh, now I forget the next step. Okay, so I actually had to click the little arrow to get back, and then I'm going to export it, and I'm going to save it, create a copy of your photo. I can click Save, and that saves it, and it usually saves it in a Snapseed folder on my device. All right, guys, so play around with this, have fun, and ask questions if you need some assistance.